Good morning. It's Friday, December the 12th. I'm Will Puckett. Thanks for joining us for Catch Up Quick. It's our daily fastcast that airs at 10:30 in the morning, Monday through Friday. We begin with a crash involving two off-duty police officers that's now under investigation by the Sevier County Sheriff's Office. The Sheriff's Office says that the crash happened November 29th on Bent Road in the Kodak area of Sevier County. Two off-duty Sevierville police officers are involved. The Sheriff Michael Hodges says in a post, investigators believe alcohol did play a part in the crash. Both the driver and the passenger were hurt. The Sevier County deputies took the driver to the hospital. Charges have not been filed, but the Sheriff's Office says that could change pending toxicology reports. Sevierville police have issued the following statement that reads in part, the driver of the vehicle, SPD Officer Alex Bratz, and passenger SPD Sergeant Alan Williams, are both currently on medical leave due to non-life-threatening injuries they received in the crash. The statement goes on to say an internal investigation by SPD is forthcoming, pending toxicology reports for the vehicle's driver, SPD Officer Alex Bratz. Well, we're still following the trench collapse at Big Ridge State Park in Maynardville that left one worker dead and another in the hospital. Crews responding to a call for help yesterday morning just after 8 o'clock. Union County EMA Director Andrew Reed saying the two people were working on a sewer project. Then the trench collapsed. After several hours, the first worker was rescued and flown to UT Medical Center. Reed says he could be in critical condition. About 4 hours after that, Reed says responders recovered the second man. Reed says that worker died from the collapse. Officials saying Tosha is now investigating the situation. We'll let you know as soon as we learn more. We're continuing to ask questions on this situation. Right now, a longtime Knox County deputy is in the ICU. The Sheriff's Office says Chief Deputy Bernie Lyon is currently receiving medical care. Deputy Lyon has served the Knox County Sheriff's Office for nearly 50 years. He is running for sheriff. His current Sheriff Tom Spangler's term expires next year. We'll be sure to continue to ask how Deputy Lyon is doing, and as we learn his condition, we'll share that and pass it along to you. Well, you might remember that last week we told you about a Christian school suing the Knox County School Board over current charter school regulations. Now the Tennessee's Attorney General says a state ban on religious charter schools is likely illegal. Attorney General Jonathan Skrmetti calling out what was passed as part of a 2002 law authorizing charter schools in Tennessee. He says the rule likely violates the free exercise clause of the First Amendment. Attorney General Skrmetti saying because Tennessee has chosen to fund charter schools, it cannot legally exclude religious groups. Critics do argue, though, that taxpayer dollars should not fund religious schools. It's an issue that has been debated before the U.S. Supreme Court. Well, an East Tennessee representative is among a group in our nation's capital reintroducing the Pharmacists Fight Back Act. The bill targets pharmacy benefit managers, or PMBs, the middlemen between insurance companies, drug makers, and pharmacies. The measure would prevent them from predatory practices that drive up prices.
They promise lower costs for patients, but they've done everything but that. Instead, they've inserted themselves between patients and the care that they receive, deciding what drugs are covered, what pharmacies people can use, and how much pharmacists get reimbursed.
Now, Representative Harshbarger has vowed to protect patients from those practices. It's something that she knows quite a bit about as a longtime pharmacist in Upper East Tennessee. Well, the Tennessee Department of Health is warning about a rise in fungus cases in Tennessee. It's called histoplasmosis. So far, there have been at least 18 cases across 2 counties south of Nashville. It comes most often from inhaling spores from soil that have been contaminated by bird or bat waste. Experts say the most common way people get it is from handling dirt near chicken coops or construction. Our station in Nashville is speaking to a doctor at Vanderbilt Medical Center about why we've seen this increase and how you can stay safe.
Because of the temperature changes globally, it has been spread more widely. There are a lot of cases happen. We were reminded to maybe cover your mouth when you're doing this work. So maybe simply just wearing probably a mask.
CDC says outbreaks like this are rare. Symptoms include fever, headaches, and chest pain. Once again, these cases are in Middle Tennessee. We have not seen any in East Tennessee yet. Well, nearly $2 million. That's just how much money you helped raise at East Tennessee Children's Hospital Fantasy of Trees fundraiser. 71,000 people attended this year's event, which is up from last year. More than $1.8 million is set to go towards the Children's Hospital's Hogs for the Cause Hematology and Oncology Center. Well, we want to thank everyone for donating during our Santa Paws event. You may have seen us out at Pet Resorts in West Knox and the Sevier County Animal Shelter. Between both locations, you helped us collect thousands of pounds of pet food, hundreds of toys and other pet supplies, and more than $1,000 in cash. And of course, lots of treats. All of those donations will go to Young Williams and the Sevier County Animal Shelter. We'll take a look at this. The Tennessee Department of Transportation's Mark Nagy posting this video to Twitter of his trucks getting ready to hit the road this morning in some of the higher elevations. A reminder for folks to stay safe on the road. We also have a WVLT First Alert Weather Day scheduled for Sunday and Monday.
Your First Alert forecast with meteorologist Kyle Granger.
Hello everybody, hope you had a great night's rest. Welcome on into your Friday where we're going to see the sunshine building in for the rest of the day. We're already starting to see that in Pigeon Forge as we look across the mountains there. You see a few of those puffy clouds with us. Temperature wise, we're still sitting in the 30s for most of us. 38 Knoxville to 37 for Townsend. Warming to the 40s from Crossville to Spring City and Inglewood, 40 to 42. There's that bank of clouds rolling through the rest of the day today and then building in that sunshine. And I really think it's like 3, 4 o'clock this afternoon will be a prime time to go out and get some fresh air, maybe a walk or maybe even a snack or a sandwich or something for the afternoon. We get up into the low 50s with just a few passing clouds. Winds stir around just a little bit today, but thankfully these numbers have come down to about a 10 to 15 mile per hour gust as we go for the rest of the afternoon. Here you go for your Friday. 53 in Knoxville to Pigeon Forge. Down to the south, we've got 54 Madisonville to Tellico Plains, 50 for Crossville to 47 Jamestown, Oneida, 46 Williamsburg to 44 in Barberville, 46 Morristown to 50, Newport 51 in Hartford. Overnight tonight, partly cloudy, 34 is where we are for the start of Saturday. We start Saturday with clouds. We get some breaks in the clouds, getting that sunshine back in before the next round of clouds comes through and brings us just enough moisture to touch off a few snow flurries and snow showers overnight into our Sunday morning. Then we're talking about the cold air settling in. Single digits are what it's going to be feeling like across the board here on Monday morning. 8 in Knoxville, 6 Dandridge, 15 Gatlinburg. You're the warm spot according to this solution. So for the next couple of days, we keep the 50s for Friday and Saturday. Really cold Sunday. It's just going to be a kind of a miserable afternoon, honestly, to be out and about, sitting in the 20s for afternoon time periods. And then next week, it was a short cold blast that came through as we're back into the 40s and 50s.
Indeed we are. Kyle, thank you, sir. Well, preparations for Saturday's National Wreaths Across America Day are underway already. Trucks delivering more than 20,000 wreaths to Knoxville. Those wreaths will be placed on veterans' headstones at more than 30 cemeteries across East Tennessee. Veteran Dave Palmer says many of his family members also served. He says he's proud to honor them.
My grandfather, my father, my father-in-law, my brother, and my best friend were all in the service, and I make sure we get wreaths for them every year.
Volunteers are needed to lay the wreaths if you'd like to help out. We have more information inside your WVLT News app. Now, there is a ceremony at the Knoxville National Cemetery tomorrow at noon, too. Well, tickets to see Bob Dylan in Knoxville are now on sale. He's bringing his Rough and Rowdy tour to the Civic Auditorium for one night only on the 14th of April. We have a link for you to buy those tickets in the As Seen On section of your WVLT News app. Well, more than 2,000 people are expected to pour into an East Knoxville church tomorrow for an event more than 2 decades running. We're talking Blessings on Bell Street. For more than 20 years, Overcoming Believers Church has welcomed in Knoxville families, helping to spread Christmas cheer and make sure that many of them have a Christmas to remember. Pastor Daryl Darnell saying while this event became something that was supposed to help make Christmas big, it's now turned into an event some rely on to have Christmas at all.
We started out with this being a treat for the community, kind of a bonus to their Christmas. It's no longer something that the community wants. Now it's become something that the community needs. So this event now is something that they expect every single year, and for some families, this is their Christmas.
Blessings on Bell is Saturday from 6 to 9 in the evening, again at Overcoming Believers Church. That's tomorrow. WVLT is proud to be your official station of the Vols, and we're getting the first look at next season's football schedule, and it's not easy. There's a new format. The Vols play 9 conference games instead of only 8. They'll lose 1 non-conference game in the schedule. The Vols opening SEC play with 2 big home games, starting with Texas, and then the next week, Alex Golesh and the Auburn Tigers come to town. Lane Kiffin's LSU Tigers will come to Neyland Stadium in late November, and that same month includes trips to Texas A&M and Vanderbilt. The season opener is September 5th at home against Furman. Well, Jim Knowles is officially Tennessee's new defensive coordinator. He brings nearly 40 years of college football experience to Rocky Top. Knowles led the Ohio State defense when they won the national title in 2024. He also coached at Oklahoma State, Duke, and Penn State. And then no surprise here, wide receiver Chris Brazzell is declaring for the 2026 NFL Draft. Brazzell led the SEC in receiving yards and receiving touchdowns. Right now he's rated as the 20th best prospect overall by CBS Sports. Brazzell will not play in the Music City Bowl on the 30th against Illinois. Well, here in Knoxville, we're reminded of Pat Summitt's legacy everywhere, every day. And last night, a reminder of just how special she was. We're talking the person, Pat Summitt. Omaha Productions celebrating Pat Summitt. It's a live reunion special at the Tennessee Theater. Fans getting to write a message to Pat in the lobby and check out memorabilia from her time as Tennessee's head coach. Now, before the show, a panel discussion with Basketball Hall of Famer Dawn Staley and Lady VFL's Andrea Carter, Nikki Fargas, and legendary Candace Parker.
I feel like Pat was before her time. A lot of the lessons that I think the world are learning right now, she was doing in the 70s and 80s when we were still discussing the impact of Title IX and what this would mean. So with that being said, I think just to be here today and see like she was right and how many people have been impacted by the choices she made and the leader that she was. I think we're here celebrating her because she was an unbelievable coach, but she was so much more than that.
Summitt died after a battle with Alzheimer's in 2016. You can learn more about how the Pat Summitt Foundation is now helping to eliminate the disease by visiting patsummit.org.
We the People, celebrating 250 years of America. Sponsored by Garza Law Firm.
Today, 25 years ago, a presidential election was decided in the Supreme Court. On December 12, 2000, the United States Supreme Court issues its 5-4 decision in Bush v. Gore. The ruling resolved the recount dispute in Florida's 2000 presidential election. That decision went in George W. Bush's favor, effectively awarding him the presidency over Tennessee Senator and Vice President Al Gore. Well, thanks for joining us today on Catch Up Quick. Remember, you can stay up to date all the time on your desktop at WVLT.tv, inside your WVLT News App, on all of our social media pages, and streaming on WVLT+. We'll see you back here at the same time Monday. Have a great weekend.